I found you on Facebook. I'm here to ask about smoking addiction. Any keyword, anything would help. Thank you. I love you.
All right, Corey Oliver here, Spiritual Activator. And that is such a good question. And I'm going to answer this, and I'm actually going to broaden the scope, right? Because there's a lot of different types of addiction out there, right? And here's how you have to look at it. One, whenever you're diving deep into a subject matter to where you're doing something, right? Obviously, it affects your life and it becomes debilitating in a way to where you don't have control, and that area affects all the other areas of your life, right? You've got to dive into that with a lot of love. So that means a lot of self-care, a lot of love, and think about the things that you love to do, okay? And I'm going to be answering this in steps. First is before you dive deep into this Pandora's box of why you do it, right? Or what's driving you to do it, because that's the biggest thing you're probably asking is, why do I do it and how can I stop? Because it's affecting all areas of your life. Now, that can contain a lot of different things, right? That might have nothing to do with the thing that you're trying to stop doing, right? But for some reason, that's what's showing up. So a lot of it is before you enter this, because this can be a lot of trauma, energetic blocks, like, memories, pain, right? You want to make sure you're in the right environment or the right state with the right support system to be able to deal with that, because that's a lot to unpack. That really is. And if you want to understand why you do certain things, you've got to go through and understand what drives you to do that, right? So first of all, make a list of all the things that you love to do. Self-care. Like, do you like to journal? Do you love listening to good songs? Do you love watching, comedy things that make you laugh, right? Do you love quality time? Like, hint, love and connection is super powerful. But a lot of times, we're afraid of being abandoned, or it's hard to open our hearts. So we close it and we look for other things to do to pretty much kind of like cover up that pain. All we really want is love and connection, right? So that's a huge clue. So love and connection. Is it being by yourself? Is it creating things, helping people, writing songs, moving your body, getting sunlight, nature? What is it that makes you feel happy, makes you feel relaxed, makes you feel at peace? So figure that out first. Okay, and do a lot of that, because when you're trying to unpack something, you want to make sure you do it on a very, very high note. So one, you're either doing it where you're in an environment that's supportive. So when we're doing workshops at the retreat center, right, it's typically a lot of people are supportive and they unpack their biggest issues and they work through it energetically, mentally, emotionally, because they're in a loving, safe environment and they know that they're going to be taken care of, and they're on sacred land too, that facilitates that kind of transformation. So they're more comfortable doing that, right? So one is it's either the environment, or you're doing all these self-care routines and you're in a high frequency, a very high state, all right, and energetic vibration, to where you're now looking at things from certain lenses, right? You're looking at things and you're supported with resources that fuel you, that you would normally not have at a lower vibration. And when you're in that high vibration, you can look at it and say, and you can look at patterns. Why am I doing this? What's driving me to do this activity that I want to stop, right? And understand, okay, like, we do things, right, because we're trying to meet a human need that we don't have, right? Whether we're wanting love and connection, or we're feeling like you're feeling bored, and the reason why you don't want feeling bored is because you have to deal with your thoughts and emotions that come up, and the thoughts and emotions that come up you don't really enjoy, because it was part it reminds you of a part of your life that you want to forget, so you keep yourself busy and do something to escape, right? So there's a lot of reasons why people do what they do, but the most important thing really is to understand what it is. And when you figure it out, love yourself for it. Be excited that now you've found this need that you can now meet in multiple ways. So for example, you dug deep and you figure out, okay, like, I do this every single time because I think about my family, and you might not have a good relationship, let's say with your siblings, and you feel sad. And because you feel sad, like, and it grows and grows and grows, maybe that leads to you doing something that you want to stop doing, for example, right? And if you look at the last 7 times or 30 times that you did that thing, what was the emotion? What were the thoughts? What was the energy and the vibration that happened right before that led you here? Because once you realize what that is, right, then you can start healing it energetically. Again, everything is energy, and everything affects us energetically, right? So once you know what it is, you can start healing it. And a simple way to do that, right, is really, if let's say it is you're sad because, like, you think about people that aren't in your life, that aren't close to you, and they're far away, and you are being of love and connection. That's who you are. You thrive off of that, but you can't seem to have it, right? Or people that you attract are closed off and they've got a closed heart, and they just really can't. So what do? You start asking yourself, how can I feel more love and connection every single day? What can I do? What activities can I do? And you start crafting your entire life so what you need, your deepest need, soul need, human need, is fulfilled on a daily basis. And when you have it fulfilled, you're not going to want to have to run away and cover that up, because you're overflowing with that which you want, which is what heals things at the root. I mean, a deeper way of doing it really is like looking at the energy that is trapped. Because the thing is, when traumatic things happen from childhood till now, it leaves an energetic imprint every single time. Something happens, yeah, it affects you mentally, emotionally, but the thing that you can't erase that affects your entire life is the energetic imprint. It affects you. Because there's an energetic imprint, the energy is there, guess what? The energy has a certain vibration. And whatever now exists on that vibration, guess what? You start attracting in your life. So if that vibration, let's say, is hurt and a closed heart, and that's where you vibrate on, that's where you're energetically at, because that's just happened so many times and you never cleared it and it's stuck in your body, guess what? That's what you're going to start to attract in your life. You're going to realize there are going to be people that are showing up who have closed hearts, or like, who are angry all the time, or who are abusive, and they resonate and they live in that vibration. You're going to attract opportunities or problems in that vibration. Your entire world that you look at externally will be a reflection of that internal frequency that's stuck in you. So a deeper answer would be to clear those blocks at the deepest levels, right? And again, that's one of the things that I teach a lot of my programs and workshops. But a quick one that you can do right now really is do a lot of self-care, like I said. And once you do a lot of that self-care, right, start looking at what are the things that, what are the patterns that show up before you do the thing that you want to stop doing. Ask yourself what the needs are, and lovingly create days to where you can meet that need, where it's overflowing, to where you don't have to do this one thing to escape, the pain that you're feeling, but your life is so rich with that need met that you don't need to. And then when you have time, if that works, dig deeper into energy, because energy is typically at the root of all things. And the deeper you go and the deeper you solve that, the more that you experience true freedom in your life, right? So hopefully that answers your question and that helps. Thanks for that, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the next Q&A session with me.